What we're looking at here is my Beretta 92 Inox and custom handmade holster made by Tommy Parker, TP Parker. My cup of coffee, some premium bullets, and some not so premium bullets. I've been testing a lot of loads for the last 15 years and tested a variety of loads and a variety of calibers and a variety of guns. And I've paused to wonder sometimes if we're getting anything extra from our premium bullets that we're buying. Beretta 92, it's 5-inch barrel, tends to like heavy bullets. I've got a Smith & Wesson. It likes more mid-range bullets. So your mileage may vary. And this is kind of the first look I'm taking at this stuff. And I'm beginning to wonder what we're getting for our money besides sizzle on the steak and buying a new product. These bullets here are the 150 grain Federal Premium bullets that are designed for use in the short barrel 9mm. I ended up picking these up in a trade because they did not work well in a buddy of mine's Glock. I've tried it in several smaller 9mm. You're getting about 850 feet a second. The expansion's questionable in it. Sometimes they work fine, sometimes they don't. We shoot them in the Beretta, getting it right at 950, 960 as far as velocity. And the expansion's more consistent. We compare this to the Winchester White Box. These are available at Walmart at the time I'm posting this for about $21, $21.50 a box, and the tax 7% here in Florida. Out of this Beretta, they're giving me right at 1,025 feet a second. Good, consistent, reliable expansion and adequate penetration for a 9mm. Understand that the 9mm is not my first choice in a cartridge for my use. Does it have some advantages? Yes, the recoil's light. With heavy bullets for caliber and good hollow point bullets, I would say yes, it's probably adequate for self-defense. Understanding that most of the time when I'm using my pistol, I'm using it to shoot snakes, I'm using it to shoot critters. I have better guns and better cartridges for that use. That being said, another advantage for the 9mm is at the time I'm doing this video, you can buy practice ammo for a little less than $8 a box. I can remember a time whenever you could buy 38 Special and 9mm, both of them about $5.95 a box. 40 caliber ran you $7.95 a box for the remanufactured stuff. That was adequate practice and target ammunition. I believe it was made by Georgia Arms. Another advantage to the Winchester white box, you can get it at Walmart all day long. Doesn't mean you have to go to a specialty shop, doesn't mean you have to go any place and pay an arm and a leg for it. You can buy as many boxes as you want right now at Walmart for $21.50 a box. So if you're the kind of person that likes to keep out a lot of extra ammunition on hand, particularly if it's good quality defensive ammunition, that's a pretty good deal. This brings us to the HST bullet. This is the 147 plus P bullet. Plus P indicates higher pressures. Advertised out of this box is 1,050 feet a second. My average was like 1,052 out of the 5-inch Beretta. I do not have any of the expanded projectiles handy. I do have my notes on them. This bullet I paid $40 a box for 50 rounds. It was hard to find. I ended up finding a box or two at a time. I've got a good stash of it now. And I'm beginning to wonder, hey, did I blow about $20 extra a box for something that's not going to give me an advantage? We're at 1,025 feet a second and 1,050. As far as our terminal ballistics, the Winchester white box average expansion is around 0.67 inches. Understand these bullets are starting at 0.355. So we're almost doubling our diameter when the bullet expands. We get 25 more feet a second on average out of the HST. It expanded to 0.685. Not a whole lot of difference in expansion. Both of them expanded consistently. Alright, yes, I know we get the cool nickel-plated brass in the HST. Some guns may need that slicker brass to help them cycle. This Beretta does not. It shoots well with either one of them. Accuracy over time, I can't tell a difference. If I do my part, both of these loads perform well. Penetration, I've tested them in gelatin. I don't have the notes on the exact penetration, but they were very close. They were toward the deeper end of the FBI's standards. In milk jugs, filled with water, shot at 7 yards. Both of them got into the 4th jug after coming to full expansion. This being said, I've got another 9mm. It's one of the Smith & Wesson Sigmas. Made in the mid-90s. Doesn't like 147 grain bullets. It likes 124. The bullet it's liked for over 20 years and shot well with has been the 124 plus P Golden Saber. Some guns are more sensitive to ammo than others. Okay, I get that. But when we look at guns that shoot consistently well with several different kinds of ammunition of similar bullet weights, what are we really getting for twice the price? I mean, it was $18 more for 50 of the HSTs to get comparable ballistics. In the case of the 150 grain HSTs designed for the micros, the plain Jane Winchester white box outperformed it. I'm not saying this is the case for every gun and every load. Also, what I've limited myself to for the purpose of this video is I haven't discussed my hand loads. I usually load a 147 grain bullet, either the Winchester silver tip or the 147 grain flat nose lead bullet to 1,000 feet a second. That's the sweet spot with those bullets. That's where my accuracy and my terminal ballistics seem to really do their best. If you're interested in that load, drop me a line. I'm not going to publish it here on YouTube, but I will share that data with you, as well as some cautionary stuff, because it's a hot load. Another thing to look at, the military's 9mm NATO spec ammunition uses 124 grain ball ammunition at 1,250 feet a second. Even our 124 grain commercially available ammunition usually only gets up to around 1,100 feet a second, somewhere in there. There are loads that probably could get to 1,200. More power to you if you've got one that'll do that over the chronograph. Now, we're talking about chronographed loads. That's what all these velocities come from. Yes, I know you've got differences from chronograph to chronograph and gun to gun, and even weather temperature can make some differences. A lot of these loads here, the 147 grain HST and the 147 grain Winchester, were tested on the same day. A lot of them were tested on several days. So when we look at it, which one are we actually better off with? It's really going to come down to which one your gun likes best, because there's so little difference in it. In this particular case, I'd be just as well with the cheaper Winchester white box as I would the HST tactical load. Just something to ponder, maybe something to give somebody some food for thought, to look at your ballistics, maybe run some tests yourself, see which ammunition your gun likes. As far as your accuracy, set up some milk jugs. Set them up in a line. You want them to penetrate between 3 and 4 milk jugs, ideally, to meet the FBI standard. See what your expansion looks like. This is just one little glimpse into a lot of the ballistics work I've been doing. And it's a good place to start since the 9mm has become such a popular cartridge again. One of the reasons that I've discounted the lighter bullets, the 115 grain bullets, is to me, they're a pest load. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, the bullets are designed better and they work better than they did 30 years ago. Maybe so, maybe not. But 115 grains a bullet is 115 grains a bullet. 147 is 147. And it's not me really making the decision. It's what the gun likes. It's like your women. You know, some of y'all like blondes, some like redheads, some like, brunettes. I like them all. I like many varieties in firearms as well. I know somebody that has a Glock 19 may not get the same performance as I've gotten out of this Beretta. Somebody with a Glock 17 may not get the same performance out of that. If you like CZs, whatever your pleasure is, make sure the gun works. Make sure it functions. Make sure your ammunition works well in it. That means that it's reliable, that the gun and ammunition combination work well together. Most of all, practice with it. Be able to make good hits with it. And carry it. Well, I hope this has been somewhat informative, and I hope you get something out of it. Later on.